Hi friends, with less than 25 days to go for RBI Grade B Phase 2, now it's like a cricket match जहाँ पे आपको 10 ओवर में 100 रन बनाने हैं और इस वीडियो में आपको द्रविड़ नहीं सहवाग या हार्दिक पांड्या कैसे बना जाएगा वो बताया जाएगा. Which bowlers do you need to hit, as in which chapters do you need to target to get the maximum marks by studying the least. ठीक है, तो मैं आपको कंप्लीट स्ट्रैटेजी बताने वाला हूँ, ऑब्जेक्टिव की, सब्जेक्टिव की, ओवरऑल इट्स अ कंप्लीट स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर एफएम. Listen to me for the next 20-25 minutes and you are going to get a lot of value out. Now, if I ask you that which is the most scoring paper in phase 2 of RBI, अगर आपको इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं पता है then you need to do lot more research on your RBI Grade B preparation. It's without doubt finance and management. और ये डेटा है आपके सामने. If I talk about 2021 data, the average marks in FM in 2021 were 72. That is way higher than what people got in ESI. तो फाइनेंस एंड मैनेजमेंट को आपको बहुत अच्छे से करना है. यहाँ पे तो आपको अच्छा करना ही पड़ेगा. यू नीड टू डू गुड इन दिस पेपर टू स्टैंड अ चांस टू क्लियर योर ड्रीम एग्जाम. The supreme point that you need to understand, I want to tell you at the beginning itself, आपका objective or descriptive both are of 50 marks. Now, many people are very much fearful of descriptive, and for that reason, they are not able to concentrate even on the objective part. So, I would say that prepare well for the objective part. It can still be a deciding factor. At the same time, yes, you need to concentrate on descriptive part, but trust me, you cannot prepare 100%. There is a lot of data, a lot of things that you need to read for descriptive part that you will never be able to cover. Content is important. No doubt, content is important, but content is not something that without that you will not be able to score good marks. The idea is to get maximum marks out of the content that you have. That is maybe to reduce your grammatical mistakes, to write in a structured manner, to put some lot of examples and data. And you need to learn to express yourself. For that you need to start writing now. कुछ भी लिखो. अभी अगर टेक्निकल नहीं लिख पा रहे हो, अपने नेबर के बारे में, काऊ के बारे में, अपने शहर के बारे में कुछ भी लिखिए. एंड डू नॉट गेट बॉक्ड डाउन बाय दिस डिस्क्रिप्टिव प्रेशर. So if I talk about finance and management, it's basically a combination of two subjects, finance and management. Finance usually comes more in your exam out of 100 marks, that is 50 to 55 marks, and management is around 45 to 50 marks. ठीक है, तो फाइनेंस का थोड़ा वेटेज ज़्यादा रहता है. एंड इफ आई टॉक अबाउट मैनेजमेंट फर्स्ट, राइट, सो आई वुड बी कवरिंग द स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर मैनेजमेंट, ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड सब्जेक्टिव फर्स्ट, देन वी विल मूव ऑन टू फाइनेंस. मैनेजमेंट की बात करें तो इन मैनेजमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज अराउंड 20 to 25 मार्क्स एंड सब्जेक्टिव 25 मार्क का आता है. मतलब 6 में से 3 क्वेश्चन आपके मैनेजमेंट के ही आते हैं. सो फर्स्ट लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट द स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर मैनेजमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव, देन मैनेजमेंट डिस्क्रिप्टिव. तो ये मैनेजमेंट का सिलेबस है. ऑल द इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स विच आर, आई मीन द कोर नेम्स ऑफ योर टॉपिक्स आई हैव हाइलाइटेड इन येलो. इफ आई ट्रांसलेट दैट इनटू the chapters, these are the chapters: motivation, leadership, communication, general management, EI, personality perception, conflict, organizational change and reinforcement, कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस एंड एथिक्स. ये मोटा मोटे आपके सारे चैप्टर बनते हैं. नाउ विच आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर्स फॉर ऑब्जेक्टिव? ये बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, सर विच आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चैप्टर्स फॉर ऑब्जेक्टिव? इन माय व्यू दैट्स अ वेरी स्टूपिड क्वेश्चन. दो आई स्टिल बिलीव नो क्वेश्चन इज स्टूपिड क्वेश्चन, बट यू नीड टू रियलाइज दैट इन मैनेजमेंट यू कैन नॉट असर्टेन के यही चैप्टर सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ 2021 जनरल मैनेजमेंट. There is a question, right? EI and emotional intelligence, there is a question. Motivation, 4 question. Personality and perception, there is a question. Organizational change and reinforcement, there is a question. Communication, there is a question. Organizational behavior, which is basically fundamentals of organizational behavior, उस पे भी एक क्वेश्चन आया था. अब आपका इस चैप्टर में से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, एथिक्स एंड कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस. देन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, लीडरशिप में से कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आया. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट एवरी चैप्टर हैज अ क्वेश्चन. एंड इफ आई टेल यू दैट लीडरशिप में से एक सब्जेक्टिव आया था और इसमें से भी एक सब्जेक्टिव आया था. सो ओवरऑल इवन इफ नो क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड इन ऑब्जेक्टिव पेपर फ्रॉम अ सर्टेन टॉपिक, देयर इज अ प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट इट विल बिकम अ कैंडिडेट फॉर डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर. तो टॉपिक तो आपको ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए सारे पढ़ने ही पढ़ने हैं, क्योंकि डिस्क्रिप्टिव की तैयारी भी तभी करेंगे अगर एक बार ऑब्जेक्टिव के पर्सपेक्टिव से पढ़ा होगा. So सारे क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड नाउ सिंस यू हैव लेस टाइम, हाउ टू रीड द मैनेजमेंट पार्ट क्विकली एंड यू हैव टू रीड ऑल द चैप्टर्स. डू नॉट go through videos in case you are preparing from some paid courses. Read the concept notes and attempt chapter wise quizzes. This is very very important. Knowledge is not equivalent to marks. You might read 1000 pages, 2000 pages, but till the time you learn to apply that knowledge, you will not translate your knowledge into marks. तो इस तरह से आप जल्दी कर सकते हैं. Concept notes बड़े हैं. There might be some short notes for you. We are also launching a crash course in which we are providing short notes. So I'll talk about that later. But ये आपको approach follow करनी पड़ेगी. Now, if I talk about some other points for management, first of all theories are important. Though you can give first priority to the ones in syllabus. Let me explain that. So let me take an example of motivation. In motivation, only these theories are written, right? These theories are written in your syllabus. No doubt these are the prime target. These are the most important. But then there are other theories in motivation like self-efficacy theory, goal-setting theory, self-determination theory. Now these theories are not given in your syllabus, though we are covering in the course. Sir, ये करें ना करें, in my view, goal setting, self-efficacy, self-determination theory, they have been asked in the past. Yes, now they have defined very clearly what are the theories, and last year there was no question out of these theories. I mean, out of syllabus there was no question. Whatever questions were there were from these theories, but going ahead, I think when they will try to make question paper difficult, they might no sway away from the standard syllabus, because ultimately once motivation is written, you are required to read all the theories. That's my opinion, but again, it's your call. Obviously you should be giving more priority to the theories which are in the syllabus. Stress on keywords, this is very important. Sometimes we read something, but till the time we don't remember the keywords, we will not be able to answer the questions in the exam. For example, achievement factor of motivating an individual is the contribution of which theory and what other factor was considered along with it. Now achievement is kind of there in every theory. If we take it from journal English perspective, Maslow may talked about self-actualization of self-esteem, which is achievement. Elderfer has talked about growth, which is achievement. Vroom has also talked about achievement in some way. But actually, the actual keyword which is used as an achievement is in Herzberg theory, that achievement and advancement. Right. So here correct answer is D. That's why I'm saying that sometimes you need to remember the keywords even after understanding the theory, so that you can eliminate the options easily in the exam. Then some very simple questions are asked in management. For example, they can ask you question like what is full form of bars. Though this is from HRD, which is not part of your syllabus now, but this question has been asked in the past, which was a 2-marker question, right? So we need to be prepared for such questions. Do not just think about कि हमें बड़े concepts पढ़ने हैं, मुश्किल questions ही आएंगे. Case study based questions are also asked. They will give you a scenario that person A and B are in conflict, and then their manager told person A this, person B this. Now, what is the strategy adopted by manager? So they will give you kind of a case, and they will try to ask you a question based upon the application of that case. Then Mintzberg's role of managers. Mintzberg role of managers, right? This is part of your syllabus, and this is very important. Whether it is RBI, whether it is SEBI, a lot of questions have been asked from the role of managers. And now some unusual roles have also been asked. If I talk about SEBI, there have been roles like enabler. This is R, synergizer, which are not standard role of Mintzberg. As per Mintzberg framework, these are not some standard rules. So, and I'm not sure from where they are framing these questions, but we are trying to now figure this out, and we are going to put this into your course so that roles other than Mintzberg roles are also covered by you, and you get a comprehensive perspective. But be ready to face questions like this in the exam as per what we can observe the recent SEBI exam. I'm really sorry, guys. I might be coughing because I'm having a very bad throat infection, but I'll continue with my video. Then focus on understanding. This is a very keyword. Earlier management questions used to be very simple, theoretical. If you have read something, you will be able to take the answer there by looking at the options. But now many of the questions are understanding based. They are not bookish, right? So you have to learn that application, because if you will not learn that, then आप exam के बाद आके वही बोलोगे, sir कोई question course में से नहीं था. So if you will not learn the application, then how can you solve such questions which are like teddy kheer for you, right? So इसका एक ही तरीका है, do lot of MCQs. Only through MCQs you will be able to learn the art of the application. Again, knowledge is not equivalent to marks. Do go through HRD also. This is my opinion, but take this lesson priority. HRD is not part of your syllabus, but if I see the books that they have mentioned in the notification, one of the books is mentioned for HRD. Now, I am not sure for what purpose they have mentioned this book, but if you get time, do go through HRD also at a very high level. कुछ नहीं पता, एक आधा question वो डाल सकते हैं. Now coming to management subjective. Which chapters are important for management subjective? Now this is something non-stupid relevant question. I would say these questions. लास्ट ईयर ऑल्सो आई टोल्ड दीज चैप्टर्स टू माई स्टूडेंट्स दैट दीज आर इंपॉर्टेंट. उसमें से मैनेजमेंट में से 3 क्वेश्चन आए थे. 2 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दीज चैप्टर्स, this and reinforcement. One was from leadership. This year also I expect kind of the same pattern since corporate governance से आ गया है, तो मुझे लगता है इस साल ethics से आने के बहुत chances हैं. Organizational change से आ गया है तो conflict और personality perception से आने से बहुत chances हैं, और एक शायद ऊपर वाले chapter से भी आ सकता है. Though I still feel that the chapters which are highlighted in yellow here are more important for your subjective paper. Now, questions in management are super easy. That's why I say that even in finance and management, management is more scoring. Now, see these questions. What is corporate governance? Defines its needs and principles. Bookish question. What is transformational leadership and transactional leadership? And see the difference in transactional leader and transformational leader. Bookish question. What is behavioral reinforcement? Discuss the positive and negative behavior reinforcements in brief. Totally bookish questions. All these are bookish questions. If you have read notes, right, even if you have no read notes through a cursory glance, you will be able to solve all these questions. But still, how can you take edge, how can you score good in management descriptive when the questions are so bookish? How can you differentiate yourself? So that way I would say that you can differentiate it's yourself in management by quoting some examples of organizations, by quoting some examples of leaders. For example, in question like transactional leadership, you can give some real life examples of Bill Gates being a transactional leader, that how he always challenges his teammates to meet the deadlines, and all that, and how Henry Ford is a transformational leadership, that how he encourages his teammates to always be innovative and creative. So you need to give these type of examples in the bookish questions so that you can get extra edge over other people. So ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. And for every set of theories in management, please read the limitations and advantages of each theory. This can be asked. Implications are very, very important. They can ask you that, no, uh, discuss the Maslow hierarchy of needs and what are the implications of Maslow hierarchy in today's organization. So these kind of implications can be asked. Do read that, and always explain in organizational context. Whenever you are giving some example in the exam, always explain. राम शाम करके मत समझाइए. Do not give example of politics or sports unless and until you do not get reminded of anything else. But try to give example in the organizational context. Reliance, Infosys, Tatas, Birlas. That will give more weightage. Sports and politics are welcome, but only after now you are not able to remember anything from corporate context. So organizational की language में लिखिए that organization needs to do this. Organizational examples दीजिए. This will help you get more marks. And focus on recall versus recognition. This is very, very important. See, when you write subjective paper, it's not going to be easy to recall everything. They might give you a question, okay, what are the 10 disadvantages of Maslow theory? You might have read 10, but in exam, you might not remember even 5. So in objective, you will see the options and you will answer. But when it comes to subjective, you need to recall. You will have no hint, nothing, no, to remind you of something. You only will no focus on your recall to write the answer. So recall बहुत important है. Visual memory होना बहुत ज़्यादा important है in the management subjective part. Right. So what we have done is we have made mind maps to increase your recall value. And as I talked about examples and case studies, we have made a fodder material where we give a lot of examples and case studies from the corporate context, from the organizational context, examples of leaders, examples of organizations. तो ये मैं आपको भी दिखाऊंगा हमने कैसे बनाया है कोर्स में. आपको भी कुछ ऐसा ही चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से. यू कैन मेक योर ओन नोट्स इफ यू आर डूइंग सेल्फ प्रिपरेशन एंड गेट योर कॉपीज एवेल्युएटेड. दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सबसे पहले तो लिखना बहुत ज़रूरी है, उसके बाद लिखने के बाद उसको एवेल्युएट कराना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बिकॉज टिल द टाइम यू डू नॉट गेट टू नो योर मिस्टेक्स, यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू इम्प्रूव. ठीक है, तो मैं आपको ये दिखाता हूँ. ये देखिए हमारा फॉर्डर मटेरियल है मोटिवेशन का. So here we are giving a lot of examples like Sachin Tendulkar, Coca-Cola company. Then in Maslow theory, we are giving examples like how Google has implemented this, how Kellogg's has implemented this. So all this fodder will help you learn some good examples that you can just write in your exam and you need not think about anything else. ठीक है. So जैसे बाबा कल्याणी का एग्जांपल दिया है हमने मैक्लेलन थ्योरी ऑफ नीड्स में, रतन टाटा का एग्जांपल दिया है. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू लर्न द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द रियल वर्ल्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का, लीडर्स का. ठीक है. और ये माइंड मैप दैट आई वाज टॉकिंग विद यू are even more important, which can help you increase your recall value. So see, what we have done here is that we have made the entire mind map of motivation chapter in 9 to 10 pages, which can now help you remember everything easily, which can increase your visual memory, and you will not forget. If you go through this 9 times, you will be able to not only solve subjective questions, but maybe in objective also you will be able to get an instant revision in your mind that whatever you have read. So this is very small, all through images and graphics, and this is very, very useful in my opinion. So this is about management subjective, guys, and we are also launching a crash course, right? In fact, we have launched a crash course, I would say, and I would say that this is the only crash course that you would need to dominate RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam if you are still to start. And this will just require your 100 hours, just 100 hours of your preparation, that is 4 to 5 hours daily in the upcoming days, without reading any book. आपको बाहर से कुछ नहीं पढ़ना है. Just need to cover the entire syllabus what we are giving you in 100 hours, and we are giving you in that way that you will be able to cover that in 100 hours. It will definitely increase your selection chances by 2x. We would be having daily live classes where we would be giving you daily targets. Then we would be having daily practice questions on those targets, and we will take your doubts also. Mind maps, as I showed you, you will be getting. Then you will be getting short notes, very crisp notes, which you can read and cover the entire topic. And we will be giving you mock test also. Those mock tests would be evaluated. You will be given feedback. And this is available at an amazing offer, the link of which is in the description of this video. So don't think, just go to that link, check out this amazing offer, and you feel that it can add value add to your preparation. It will definitely increase your chances to get selected by 2x. Then do enroll. So now coming on to finance parts. We have discussed the management part. Now we will discuss the finance part, which is again 50 to 55 marks. ऑब्जेक्टिव भी इसमें 25 से 30 मार्क का आता है, और डिस्क्रिप्टिव 25 मार्क का ही आता है. मतलब मैं 3 क्वेश्चन लेके चल रहा हूँ. Now, within objective part, first we will discuss the objective part. Static is of 18 to 20 marks, and there is a current part also. That is, you need to understand. Do not just rely on the static part. Right. Now, finance objective की बात करें तो first of all, I would like to tell you about the some trends. Numericals are decreasing each year. 2021 में numericals were of 0 marks. So that basically gives you an idea that you need not focus on numericals. That a risk you can take if you are just starting now. Current affairs की वेटेज भी इंक्रीज कर रही है. 2, 6, 20, 13 थोड़ा गिर गया था यहाँ पे, बट देन 10, बट दिस 10 is out of 29. Here the whole paper was objective, so this 20 was out of 60. This 10 is out of 30 marks of finance that was asked last year. ठीक है. तो 10 marks के current affairs means a lot of weightage, so you need to prepare for current affairs also. That's what I told you in the previous slide. Now, this is the syllabus for finance. I truly believe that finance is overrated in terms of that the fear it generates among the aspirants is totally uncalled for. इसमें से कितने चैप्टर्स हैं? मतलब फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, ऑल्टरनेट सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस, पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप, ई गवर्नेंस, कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस, फिनटेक, देन इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस. मतलब ये फाइनेंस के टॉपिक है ही नहीं. दिस इज नॉट फाइनेंस. And the core finance is not at all there. Chapters like income statement, balance sheet, chapter like cash flow, chapter like capital budgeting, capital structure theories, these chapters are not there which MBA or CFA would study. So there is no point in getting frightened that I am not from a finance background. You need not from a finance background. That is the requirement of this exam. Trust me. Now, what are the most important chapters for objective? Risk management, derivatives, bonds, primary, secondary markets, inflation, fiscal policy, functions of RBI, monetary policy, and who regulates what. This is very, very important. Every year they will ask you one question: who regulates capital markets, who regulates NBFCs, who regulates X, who regulates Y. So the answer to that you will know if you are clear that who regulates what entity. So ये chapter कर लीजिए. आपका जो objective paper आएगा static 80% आपका यहीं से हो जाएगा. 80% यहीं से हो जाएगा. Now you might be thinking, sir, can we leave other chapters? नहीं, others छोड़ने नहीं है, because ultimately these other chapters like financial inclusion, fintech, alternate sources of finance, global financial crisis, PPP, e-governance, banking system, these might not be important for subjective, but anyways they can be asked in subjective. तो आप एक रीडिंग तो इसको दोगे, you can't leave them because they are not important for objective. ठीक है. तो ये भी आपको पढ़ने हैं, but सब्जेक्टिव के लिए कुछ अलग तरह से हम पढ़ते हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए वी रीड इट फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट एंगल. दीज आर द चैप्टर्स विच यू नीड टू रीड फ्रॉम अ ऑब्जेक्टिव पर्सपेक्टिव. करंट अफेयर्स पे बात करूं, सो यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन दीज 4 पिलर्स. आरबीआई नोटिफिकेशंस वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर 10 नंबर के करंट अफेयर्स आ रहे हैं, उसमें से 6 या 7 नंबर के तो आरबीआई और सेबी रिलेटेड ही आएंगे. देन एनी न्यूज रिलेटेड टू मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस, कोई रिफॉर्म्स आए हैं, एनी कमिटी हैज बीन एस्टेब्लिश्ड, एनी पॉलिसी हैज बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड, दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड. यूनियन बजट, दिस टाइम आल्सो द बजट हैज बीन रिलीज क्लोजर टू द एग्जाम, so this is important. Now, how to cover chapters quickly, right? You can't watch videos and notes for all the chapters, and like management, you can't skip videos for all the chapters. So I would say the chapters highlighted in blue here: risk management, derivatives, bonds, fiscal policy, monetary policy, these are conceptual chapters. Watch videos also for these chapters along with notes and quizzes. But for other chapters, all these chapters, just start with the notes. You can skip the videos. फाइनेंस सब्जेक्टिव की बात करें, सो व्हाट आर द चैप्टर्स विच आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर सब्जेक्टिव, एज आई शोड यू अर्लियर. कुछ चैप्टर तो बने ही सब्जेक्टिव के लिए हैं. फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, फिनटेक, ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस, रिस्क मैनेजमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर सब्जेक्टिव. लास्ट ईयर देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन. इन्फ्लेशन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इन्फ्लेशन इज अ बिग कंसर्न दीज डेज. देयर कैन बी अ क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस. फंक्शंस ऑफ आरबीआई, मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी, अगेन important for objective also, subjective also. Structure and concerns in the banking system, again union budget, financial institutions, role of SEBI, SIDBI, NHB, again this is very very important. So ये चैप्टर सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हैं फ्रॉम द सब्जेक्टिव पर्सपेक्टिव. लास्ट ईयर एक क्वेश्चन तो आपका रिस्क मैनेजमेंट से आया था, अनदर क्वेश्चन वाज फ्रॉम यूनियन बजट एंड अनदर क्वेश्चन वाज फ्रॉम फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट ऑन SIDBI, SEBI, etc etc. So this year maybe I think one question can be on inflation, one question can be on functions of RBI, monetary policy, and maybe one question from here. I'm just guessing. I mean, obviously you need to go through all the chapters, but I think they will not repeat the questions from the same chapters which had subjective questions last year. So can I leave other chapters for subjective? The same question which I handled in objective. देखिए बाकी चैप्टर्स जो सब्जेक्टिव के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, जैसे कि बॉन्ड्स हो गया, डेरिवेटिव्स हो गया, प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी मार्केट्स हो गया, जिनमें से मुझे लगता है कि ऑब्जेक्टिव ही ज़्यादा आएगा. Still there can be short note on say different type of bonds, short note on derivatives, short note on instruments in the money market, but that you will be able to handle. Even if you have read a chapter from an objective perspective, you can still write bookish theoretical questions in the descriptive paper from those chapters. You need not worry about that. Now questions in finance descriptive can be either very simple like last year. Discuss SIDBI, NHB, NABARD, RRB and EXIM, very straight away question. Discuss 5 announcements of union budget, very simple question. What are Basel norms? Discuss major pillars of Basel 3, very standard question. सारे ये बुकिश क्वेश्चन ही हैं, राइट. थोड़ा सा इसमें करंट डाल दिया है इस क्वेश्चन में, but overall I would say bookish questions. But there can be questions like this which has come in RBI previously when it used to be objective before subjective before 2012, like what are the major challenges in the banking sector, what reforms can be implemented to overcome them. Now this is a mix of current and static, basically more oriented towards current, where you need no not bookish knowledge, rather practical knowledge to answer this question. What are the steps taken by RBI to tackle COVID related stress? Again, you need not be bookish. I mean, bookish से आंसर नहीं होगा. You need to have current knowledge and practical knowledge to answer this question. तो मैनेजमेंट में तो क्वेश्चन सीधा ही आएगा, थोड़ा सा ट्वीक हो सकता है, बट इट वुड बी स्टैटिक ओनली. In finance, there is a chance that they might ask you some current questions and how to score good in finance. Let's take an example of this question. What are Basel norms? Discuss major pillars of Basel 3. Now this is a static question, bookish question. Now still, to get good marks in this type of question, you need to quote some data and reports. Suppose in the introductory paragraph itself you write that no, as per recent report by RBI on financial stability, NPAs in India have increased from 12% to 14%. I don't know the actual data, I'm just quoting some no random numbers. What an example it will create on the examiner. तृप्त हो जाएगा, वाह 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 क्या लिखा है बच्चे ने. You give some examples that how frauds are happening in the banks like PNB or Mehul Choksi or Modi, how they have frauded the Indian banking system. You talk about some trends that are given in trends in the banking industry report by RBI. So जितना facts, trends, examples देंगे उतना लगेगा answer related to reality. Bookish नहीं लिखना है answer. That's what I told you in management also. Right. And before going again, I'm quoting the same point. Descriptive is a major challenge. You might be frightened thinking about descriptive, but content is important, not supreme. एवरेज कंटेंट के साथ भी मार्क्स लिए जा सकते हैं. इफ यू कमिट लेस स्पेलिंग एंड ग्रामेटिकल मिस्टेक्स, यू हैव गुड टाइपिंग स्पीड, you complete your answers, you focus on word limit, you give a lot of examples or data, facts and trends in your answer, you structure your answer well, you link your paragraphs well, that can help you get some good marks. कंटेंट होना चाहिए, बट सिर्फ फाड़ू कंटेंट लिखने से कुछ नहीं होगा. ये पॉइंट्स भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और अगर आप फाड़ू कंटेंट नहीं भी लिखेंगे, एवरेज कंटेंट के साथ भी इन पॉइंट्स का ध्यान रखेंगे, यू माइट गेट गुड मार्क्स. सो दैट्स इट गाइस, आई टेक योर लीव. I was low on energy today because I am having throat infection and fever, but I hope I was make you able. No, I was make you to under. I was able. I was no. I was able to put across my message that I wanted to tell you that this is the strategy you should be following for finance and management for the upcoming phase 2 exam, and all the key points I have told you that I've learned from my experience. Now I take your leave. Best of luck. Jai Hind.